Hi guys, so it's Friday and I have finished one book this week and it was a really good book. I'm really glad I finished it, but I just I don't know if I really should do a week's end wrap up this week, but I still need a video. And although I have only finished one book this week, I have been reading a lot of books this week. And so I thought I would do a reading vlog for this weekend. I should have a lot of reading time and I have a couple of books that I'm nearly finished with that I would really like to get finished, and so I thought maybe to motivate myself a little bit to actually read instead of just sitting around on Twitter all day, I would just share them with you and do a little short vlog of my reading experience. And by short I mean probably long, because that's how my videos go. Yeah. So I have 3 books that I'm nearly finished with that I'm going to kind of prioritize, and then I have a couple of others that I'll mention that I might get to depending. If I really sat down and worked at it, I could probably finish 2 of these 3 today. Here we go. The first one that I would like to finish is this one. This is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This was recommended by, I think, Books with Emily Fox read this trilogy and really liked it. And the premise sounded really interesting. So on her wedding day, she has an arranged marriage. This princess of this fantasy kingdom runs away because she doesn't actually want to get married. And she goes and lives in this little seaside village and kind of recreates a new life for herself. And the only thing is that she is followed by 2 young, attractive men. One of them is the prince who was supposed to marry her, and the other one is an assassin who is sent to kill her, and we don't know which one is which. So that was kind of really intriguing to me, and I picked it up, and for a while I was kind of interested by that, but I don't know how I feel about it. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I feel a little bit ambivalent about it, so I've been reading it really slowly. This hasn't been on any of my TBRs, but I've been reading it for a month, and I have this much left. That's one that's kind of a priority to just finish already. The next one I want to finish is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Again, I am almost done with this one. I am actually really enjoying this one. So this follows Tessa Gray, who is not a shadow hunter, but potentially a downworlder. We don't actually know. And she is American, and she comes to London in the 1870s to meet her brother after the rest of their family has died. And at the dockyard, she's met and basically kidnapped by some people who want some things from her, and the story kind of goes from there. I am excited to finish this one. I just kind of put it on hold so I could finish the book that I finished today, and so I did, and so there we go. And then the last book that I'd really like to finish is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I guess it goes that way. I took the cover off. It's a cool cover, which is kind of a shame, but you'll see it eventually. I am about halfway through this one. I put it down last month to get to some of the library books that I was reading and just haven't picked it back up, but Owl Crate just announced a special edition box for Vengeful with some really cool sounding items, and I was I probably should finish Vicious so that I know that I actually like the series, because Mada already bought the box. And also, in unrelated news, we are on a book buying ban now. So anyway, that's kind of my TBR. I also really need to finish Little Fires Everywhere, so if I finish these, then I'll probably go back to that one. I keep thinking about DNFing it, which is how I'm kind of feeling about it, but then also I'll pick it up and I read 60 pages and I'm well, maybe I'll just keep reading. But that's due back to the library Monday, so if I don't finish it on Monday, I just have to return it. I'm not actually going to sit down and do any reading right now. I have to feed some fluffy puppies. So I'm going to go do that and eat some dinner myself and do some cleaning. And then maybe by 9 o'clock I'll be ready to read. It's 7 already. It's still really light out for 7 o'clock. It's just I can't keep track of what the time is right now. Anyway, hungry puppies, hungry Erin. So we're going to go do that. I might read a little bit while I do that. I'm going to read Vicious, I think. We'll start with this one. Ready, go. Do you want some dinner? Does Rosie want some dinner? Does Rosie want some dinner? Oh, they're so ready. Okay, we gotta go downstairs. Let's go downstairs. So just ignore my room, which is a mess. I am moving in like 10 days or something. I don't actually know exactly when yet, but that has reduced my desire to actually put anything away, but it's still too early to start packing, so everything's just basically a mess. That's how my life's going. I have read about 40 pages of Vicious, and I am exactly 100 pages. I have exactly 100 pages left. I can't talk. I thought I had more because at the end of this edition are like, I don't know, 30 pages of extras. So there is a really short story set in the Vicious Vengeful world. And I don't know what it's about because I'm not going to read it until I'm there in the book. And then there's a sneak peek of Vengeful. And then there's a sneak peek of A Darker Shade of Magic. So that's kind of cool. Just little extras at the back of that book. So I am enjoying this. I was always enjoying it. I only just kind of, like, I don't know why I stopped reading it. The other thing I did, I just updated my Goodreads currently reading to be an actual accurate reflection of what I'm currently reading, because before it had gotten messed up because my Kindle accidentally told it that I was reading some stuff that I'm not actually reading at the moment. So I fixed it and I added all of the books that I'm actually currently reading. I don't tend to use this feature in Goodreads, but I think I kind of need to start doing that, at least right now while I'm reading so many books. It would also kind of be nice to see, like, when I start all of these books, because sometimes I have been reading them for a hot minute, like Nevernight and The Grid Alone. Nevernight, I keep skipping it in favor of library books, but I am going to kind of stop going to the library for a month or two so I can read all of the new books that I actually own. And Nevernight is one of the first ones I'm going to pick up. These are some high-rated books. Like, look at these ratings. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, almost 4. And that's kind of my 9 p.m. update. I am going to try to at least finish Vicious tonight. I always get them mixed up. Vicious. And I don't know what else. I will tell you more later when I know more about the things. Yeah. So it's just not quite 10, and I finished Vicious. So Vicious is about two young men. They, in college, were close friends. They're both science students. And Eli, for his final project, he wants to do like a research project into extraordinary people, or EOs. And as he talks with Victor about it, they kind of come up with a theory about how a person with basically superpowers might get made. And they theorize that it has something to do with, like, dying and then coming back in, like, a certain set of circumstances. And so then they test it, which is just such a great idea, but, you know, and it works. And that's not a spoiler. We know that that happened. And the story actually takes place in 2 timelines. That original, like, college age timeline is a flashback, and the story starts 10 years later when Victor is released from prison. And we don't know why he's been in prison or how he got into prison, but we do know that he is set on revenge against Eli, so obviously Eli has something to do with it. And I actually really enjoyed the story. Like I said earlier, I don't really know why I put it down and didn't pick it back up for a whole month, because it's just a great tale. There's some really great little lines in it, and it has some really interesting discussions about, like, what constitutes a hero. Basically, none of the characters are actually very nice. There's lots of stabbing and killing and revenge and murder and self-righteousness. But it's just, like, it's an interesting thing to think about, that sometimes somebody decides that they're a hero, but they're actually not. And Schwab did a great job of not kind of, like, the things that these characters do are not good, and she doesn't expect you to like condone their actions, but you are in their heads enough that you can understand why they as characters decided that they were necessary or maybe even good. And I just found that really interesting. The light in here is really bad. That's better. So yeah, I really liked it. I am going to give it 4 stars, and I can't wait for Vengeful to come out. I'm really glad that I ordered the Owl Crate special box. They actually announced it today, and I wavered for a little while about whether I wanted to buy it or not, but I went ahead and ordered the box anyway because I was planning to buy Vengeful, and so like, why not? And then I'm really glad I did because the box sold out in 3 hours. And so what am I going to do now? So it's like 10 o'clock and I'm probably going to head to bed soon, so I will pick up one of these two. I think I'm gonna do Clockwork Angel. I'm not really feeling Kiss of Deception at the moment, and so I'm just gonna get ready for bed and read this for a while. I might finish it. How much do I have left? Though there's extra crap in the back of this one too. Oh, I'm really almost done. Okay, so I have like not quite 100 pages left, like 80 pages left. There's just like a lot of extra in the back, so it's even less than I thought. So I'll probably finish that today, but I don't think I will talk again, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, so it's Saturday now. It's about 11:30. I actually got up pretty early and went and worked out, which I didn't get any footage of. I was actually gonna like at least take a picture or something, but it was really crowded there today, so I just didn't. Then I've just been kind of getting ready. I am gonna go get some lunch, and then I'm gonna go sit at a coffee shop, and actually I'm going to write because I haven't done that for a really long time. I just like have not had the chance or been in the right headspace, but I am feeling it right now, and so I want just like a good solid couple of hours where I'm not gonna get interrupted by anybody, like the dogs, and I can just sit down and get some writing done and maybe get some momentum going so that I can keep going with the momentum. The puppy is here again because she's my shadow. Last night I did indeed finish Clockwork Angel. I actually really enjoyed this one, definitely a lot more than City of Ashes or City of Bones. City of Bones, City of Ashes, I can't keep them straight, sorry. Anyway, I really liked this one. I liked Tessa better than Clary, and I liked the guys in this book, Will and Jem. I thought they were very interesting. The twist at the end was like a great twist. I did not see it coming. I was very interested by like kind of how things panned out. I am excited to start Clockwork Prince and really glad that I had it in on my Kindle. I did actually, I think I read the like prologue before I went to bed. Very interested to see kind of what happens with all of these characters. A little annoyed that there were so many questions left hanging at the end. Again, I gave it 3 stars. It's probably like a 3.5 for me. I definitely think Claire is getting better as a writer, and I look forward to kind of continuing. I need to read City of Glass next. So that was good. Glad I checked that off. I also forgot to mention I hit my Goodreads reading goal yesterday, which was so exciting. I had no idea how much I would be able to read this year. So 2 years ago is the first year that I tracked my reading on Goodreads, and I read 84 books, I think, and my goal was 52. So I was really excited about that. Last year, I upped my goal to 100 and read 107 books. And then this year, because of my grad program and because of my thesis, I just like had no idea how much I was going to read. So initially I set my goal at 75. At the end of January, I had read 20 books. So I knew that like I was definitely going to hit 75, and I wanted to try for 100 again. So I set it at 100 and I read 100 books, and now I've read 102. So I have no idea how I have been reading so much. I think I've just not been reading for school, and that has given me a lot more energy to read other things. I've been reading a lot of fantasy and a lot of YA, which I can read quickly, and so I'm getting through a lot of books, and I've just like kind of had more time to do that reading. I don't think I'm gonna read 100 more books by the end of the year because I'll be reading a lot more school stuff. So anyway, I was really excited. I meant to mention that. I think I forgot. So super cool. My 100th book was The Yiddish Policeman's Union, and I will talk about that in my monthly wrap-up, which will be in 2 weeks, I guess. So I'm gonna go hang out, like I said, and I'm gonna bring a couple of books with me. The first one is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I am a little less than halfway into this one. I have this like love-hate relationship with this book at this point. I don't know that I really like it very much, but it's really weirdly compelling, and so when I pick it up, I end up reading like a good chunk of it. But then after like 50 or 60 pages, I'm just like done, and I don't want to read anymore for a while. So I don't really know why I feel like that about this book. I feel like that a lot about these kind of like very quiet, close, sort of literary, domestic film books. They're just not my favorite. I don't know if I'm gonna do any reading or if I'm just gonna write, but that's the plan for today. I will update you guys later when I'm back home. So it's 5:30. I have not done a lot of reading, but I did write almost 1,000 words of my story, and also I like read to the point that I was working at, because it's been a while, and I try to do that just so I don't forget what I've written, because the story has had a bajillion drafts and sometimes I get them all confused. So that was a really productive thing. I'm so glad I did that, and totally not sorry that I didn't do any reading. I did read about 35 or 40 pages of Little Fires Everywhere. I'm past 150 pages. I'm almost halfway through the book. I don't want to DNF it, but I kind of want to DNF it is how I'm feeling about it right now. Like, I want to know what happens. I just want to read a spoilery summary of what happens and then be done. Yeah, there's just like a lot of little things. Like, the writing is really good, I have to say. Like, the author, whose name is escaping me at the moment, is a very good writer. And I will definitely try her first book. It might just be that the story of this one isn't my taste. Like, it's definitely me and not the book. That's the problem. I just tend to prefer fantasy and like contemporaries or like literary stories that have something a little bit bigger going on in them, or are like super like singularly personal. What am I gonna read now? I don't actually know. I am gonna probably finish The Kiss of Deception today, but I'm gonna read it like tonight. It's a book that I've been reading at bedtime for like the whole time I've been reading it, and so now it's a bedtime book and I'm not gonna read it during the day. I have a lot of books I'm in the middle of, but I kind of want to start spinning silver. I don't know, I'm going to think about that for a minute. I will update you later. I just realized I filmed a ton yesterday. I have no idea what I said. So, quick update. It's Sunday now. Hi. I did indeed start spinning silver. I read for like a long time. I finally made myself stop reading at like 300 pages in. It's so good, y'all. I've heard a lot of people talking about being excited about reading it, but I haven't heard about anybody reading it yet, because it just came out this week. And wow, it's really good. Much better than Uprooted. I think Uprooted, I really liked it, and I know it was really polarizing, and I think some of that was because the book was a little bit uneven. This one is just like great. It's so good. So if you wanted to like Uprooted and didn't, if you liked Uprooted, go get this one. It's so good. It is not quite Rumpelstiltskin, but it's based on the fairy tale of the young, poor girl. There's a rumor that she can turn straw into gold, and then this king comes and makes her do it several times, and she gets magical assistance, and the story is very much stripped down from that fairy tale, but the essence of the fairy tale is there. So it's not really Rumpelstiltskin. There's no deals or firstborn children being sworn away, at least not yet. Still just so good. It's so good. So we'll talk more about it when I'm finished, but I just needed to drop in and say that. My plans for today, so it's already 2:30. I haven't really read anything yet. I am going to try to finish The Kiss of Deception today, and I would also like to maybe finish Waking Gods. I really want to finish another library book before I go back to the library tomorrow, and just to take something else back, so it's not sitting around my house potentially getting lost in my move. So I don't know if I'm going to finish Spinning Silver. I might just finish that one instead. Basically the update is I don't know what I'm doing, I will get back to you. Okay, so it's about 9:30 now, and I really should have updated like 4 hours ago. I did pick up Waking Gods, and I finished it, so that was exciting. That was like 5:30, and you know, just then I ate dinner, then my sister and I played cards, and then, you know, life. So anyway, here I am updating you. I really enjoyed Waking Gods. I gave it 4 stars, which is the same as Sleeping Giants, which is the first book in the Temis Files, and I'm looking forward to reading the 3rd one eventually someday. Definitely really good. It's kind of hard, like I can't really talk about it because everything's a spoiler for the first book. So if you read the first book and liked it, definitely pick up the second one. A lot of the same people came back, and nice like twists and turns. It felt similar to Sleeping Giants, but you know, just the stakes got higher. There were some nice twists and turns, and it was just like, it was a good story. So I haven't picked anything up since then. Holding the camera out is like, makes my arm tired, guys. I think I'm just like really determined to finish The Kiss of Deception tonight, so I'm gonna pick that up and finish it. And then depending on what time it is, when I finish it, I might read a little bit of City of Glass or maybe Clockwork Prince on my Kindle, but I might not. I don't know. That's kind of how this the mood reading weekend. So I will update you guys about all of that tomorrow. Hi guys, so it's Tuesday. I meant to wrap this vlog up and post it yesterday, but I just like had a pretty bad headache all day, and I just wasn't feeling like doing much except laying on the couch and not doing anything. But here I am. It's Tuesday. I'm feeling better, and I thought I would just quickly wrap up this reading vlog. The purpose of this reading vlog was to just finish some books that I have been reading forever that really just needed to get done, and I was able to do that, so that was really exciting. I actually ended up finishing 5 books between Friday and Sunday. I also started 3 other ones because that's how I roll, and obviously I have not finished those. So I didn't really talk about the first book that I finished because I started the vlog after. That book was The Yiddish Policeman's Union by Michael Chabon. I wanted to read another book by him because I loved The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, but I wasn't sure like if it was a book or the author, and I do think it's maybe the author. I'll definitely keep reading more works by Chabon. I really liked The Yiddish Policeman's Union, although it was a very, very different book from Cavalier and Clay. The Yiddish Policeman's Union, like the style and the tone and the character, like everything was really different. It was definitely like kind of a literary detective fiction story. So I was just like impressed by how Chabon managed to write 2 very different books and have them both be pretty good. I gave that one 4 stars. I didn't love it quite as much as The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, but it was still pretty good. And I'll talk more about that in my July wrap-up. Then the first book that I finished for the vlog, I guess, is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and I gave this one 4 stars also. I really liked it. It was just super interesting. Also, this cover is still my favorite. I'm so glad I waited and then sprang for the hardcover because that was expensive, but so worth it. This cover is fabulous. Although I have to admit, I kind of like the Vengeful cover, the UK edition, better. Life. First world problems. The next thing I finished was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I gave this 3 stars, and I'm excited to continue with the trilogy. Then I finished Waking Gods by Sylvain Neuvel, 4 stars. And then I finally finished The Kiss of Deception. I haven't talked about this one yet, so what did I think of it? I actually liked it quite a lot. Probably a 3-star read for me. It was just what I was looking for, which was a entertaining fantasy that's like interesting enough to keep me reading, but not like going to emotionally destroy me, because sometimes you just want a book that you can enjoy without being emotionally destroyed. When I picked it back up on Sunday night to finish it, my attitude towards the book was like, I'm just gonna get this book done, and it was fine and whatever, but I don't think I'll continue with the series. And then some things happened in that 100 pages or so that I had to finish that made me actually want to continue with the series, so that's good. And so those are all of the books that I finished. That was just awesome all in itself. I also DNF'd one book, which was The Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I just decided it's just not my thing, and I really wasn't excited about reading it, and I didn't want to waste all of that time reading half a book that I wasn't really enjoying, and I don't want to like hate read a book. That just seems sort of counterintuitive. So I DNF'd it, but like I said earlier, that's just like totally a me thing. I have a real kind of I just don't like that kind of book, and I kind of suspected that, which is why I picked it up from the library anyway. So it's fine. I have confirmed that I don't like that kind of book. And then I started 3 books. I started Clockwork Prince and City of Glass, and I'm like 8% into both of them, so like not very much. And then I also read about 3/4 of Spinning Silver. I'm about 300 and something pages into that one. So good. So I hope you guys liked this vlog. I really enjoyed filming it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, maybe give this video a thumbs up. If you're interested in following me on social media and stuff, my links are all in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!